Do you know that one of the most infamous bank robbers in the whole of South Africa was a police officer?
Ouch him!
A detective, in fact, not a corrupt cop taking bribes, not a dirty detective looking the other way, a cop who robbed banks in the morning and investigated his own robbery by the afternoon. Welcome to Tales with the Chief. Today we are telling the story of an Andre Stander, the detective who lived a double life so bold, so reckless that even Hollywood couldn't resist turning it into a movie. But before we get into this full story, if you like this type of story, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, drop your comment at the end of the video, and like this video and share this video to other people. Let's go into it. Now, his name was Andre Stander. He wasn't some street kid with nothing to lose. His father was Major General Francois Jacobus Stander. He was a prominent figure in the South African prison service. Law and order wasn't just a job in the Stander's family. It was a family business. When young Andre enrolled in the police academy, nobody was surprised at all. What did surprise people was how good he was at it. He graduated top of his class, fast-tracked, respected, a rising star with a badge and a bright future ahead of him. But somewhere behind the clean-cut image, something else was growing. By 1977, Detective Andre Stander started living what we will call an extraordinary double life. By day, he was a detective. The guy investigated bank robberies. The guy people trusted to catch criminals. But secretly, he was the criminal. Some accounts even have it that he will rob a bank by his lunch break, walk in, threaten a teller, walk out with cash, and then calmly return to the police station like nothing has happened. Maybe even get assigned to investigate the same robbery that he just committed. Imagine that. Imagine sitting across your colleagues, nodding along and saying, we will catch the criminal, we'll catch the robber, when the criminal is actually you. But between 1977 and 1980, Stander is believed to have robbed more than 30 banks, walking away with an estimated 100,000 rounds in cash. In today's money, that money is a lot. But this wasn't really about the money. Those who studied his case later believed that Stander was chasing something else. The thrill, the risk, the rush of getting away with the impossible again and again and again. This guy was built for this type of life. But of course, as you know, nobody can live two lives forever. Nobody can do that. Eventually, the walls will definitely closing. Stander's downfall started with a bullet. During one of his own robberies, off duty, disguise of course, he was shot, and then that single moment cracked the foundation of the lie he has been building for years that nobody knew about. Investigators started noticing the inconsistencies, weakness descriptions that matches this guy a little too closely, and the more he got away with it, the more reckless he became. And in 1980, Andre Stander was arrested. And in a twist nobody expected, he confessed all of it. The double life for him was over. He was sentenced to decades behind bars in prison. And here is where many, as in most of the crime stories, will just end like that. Cop with, turned criminal, the cop who turned criminal got caught, then he went to prison, and that's all. But for Andre Stander, it wasn't done at all. While serving his sentences in prison, he did something so calculated. He faked his own mental illness. Like, he pretended that he was mentally sick, convincing enough that he transferred to a psychiatric section of the prison where security was a little bit lighter, not as heavy as where he was sentenced to. And in 1983, he escaped the prison. He didn't just vanish quietly either. Stander fled all the way to the United States, disguising like another person and changing his identity. He linked up with two other South African fugitives who were also running away. They became known as the Standard Gang, and they went on to rob banks. They were in a robbery spree all across Florida. Alan Hayes and Patrick McCall, the three men, one shared skill that both of them had. The thing they had in common was the robbery and the skill of robbing banks that they had. So fast, so brilliant that it caught national media attention. American headlines were chasing the story that started with a decorated South African detective robbing his own crime scenes and investigating himself. February 1984, the Florida police cornered Andre Stander in Fort Lauderdale. The confrontation exactly ended in gunfire. Stander was shot and unalive in the spot. His accomplice didn't stay free for so long either. Heyo was eventually extradited back to South Africa to face justice that he has been running away from. And just like that, The man who once graduated top of his police academy class, the golden boy turned outlaw, was gone and the story was over for him. Now, Andre Standard's story is one of those tales that almost sound too wild to be true, like a top detective robbing banks on his own lunch break, investigating his own crime, escaping prison by faking madness, and dying in a gunshot in a foreign soil. It was a story so cinematic, it was actually made into a film. Behind the headlines was a real man who had everything going on for him. He still chooses the edge over the badge. What do you think really drove this guy into this type of lifestyle? The money, the power, or just the thrill of getting away with it? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you enjoy these tales, please smash the like button, subscribe for more true crime stories from this channel, Tales with the Chief. And I'll see you next time.
Another story, story, story.